Hi again, Risa here, back with another episode of Ask Risa. This is my fortnightly video series where I discuss some common wedding planning questions and problems that you might be having if you're trying to plan your own wedding. This week, I am doing something slightly different. I got input from some other people on the topic that I want to cover today. So today I want to talk about how to choose the right videographer. And I'm going to start with a little anecdote because I actually did not have a videographer at my wedding 7 years ago, and I regret it. It is one of my very few regrets about my wedding. I will tell you why I didn't have a videographer, and it's because I lived in Los Angeles at the time, and everyone in Los Angeles thinks that they are, the next big Hollywood director. And so the videographers down there charged outrageous amounts of money. And we just could not justify spending that amount of money on what we were going to get for it. Now, granted, technology has changed a lot in the past 7 years. I got married in 2013, and it might be different today, but the video samples that these videographers were showing us were not good. They were terrible. The music was terrible. They were not at all worth the price that they were charging. So we did not hire a videographer. Instead, we asked a friend of ours to use our DSLR, which was brand new at the time. And, it took video in addition to still photographs. We wanted her to videotape our ceremony, just the ceremony. That's all we really cared about, using our DSLR. We bought an external microphone for the purposes. My husband gave her all the equipment at the hotel ahead of time. She brought only the camera and the tripod to the wedding. She didn't bring the external microphone that we had bought specifically for this reason. So she still set up and she still filmed, but you couldn't hear anything because she wasn't using the external mic. And then my mother-in-law also was videoing the ceremony because my husband's sister couldn't be there. She had just given birth. She'd had a C-section like 3 weeks before our wedding. So there was no way she could travel to California for our wedding. So my mother-in-law was recording it. I don't know what she did, but that video turned out upside down. And you also couldn't hear anything because there was a water feature at our ceremony site. There was a small waterfall behind us and like off to one side, and all you could hear on the video was the noise of the water, and it was upside down. So we tried 2 different approaches to like DIY video our wedding ceremony, and they both were a complete disaster. So that's why I wish we had hired a professional, but the circumstances just did not permit that to happen. However, like I said, things have come a long way in 7 years, and I have worked with some absolutely phenomenal wedding videographers in Sacramento, in the Northern California area, and their prices are not outrageous like the guys in LA who were trying to do it when we were getting married. So I reached out to 2 of my favorites, and I wanted to get their input. Instead of me just talking at you, I wanted to get their input about how to hire and choose a videographer and what to look for. Okay, let's be honest. It's still going to be me talking at you because I have their notes here from what they said, and I'm just going to tell you what they said. So first up, Sway Garcia from The Uncommon Weddings answered the question, do you need a videographer if you also have a photographer? The short answer is yes, because they provide very different services. So he's got 4 points for you. 1, photographs help you remember the day, but a video will help you actually relive it. You will really get caught up in those moments with the sound and the motion and the way it's all put together in a way that you can't recapture just from still photographs. Also, in line with that, video captures the sound. It captures, your vows, it captures the toasts, it captures people crying during the ceremony, maybe your mom tears up a little bit. It captures the laughter. It captures all of those sounds that you can't get in a photograph. You can have a photo of people laughing, but you can't actually hear the laughter. So video captures that for you. The dance floor. Only video can capture the truly epic dance moves that are going to take place on your wedding dance floor. I mean, again, you can have a still photograph and it's going to jog your memory, but the only way to really relive that is to have it on video. And I can tell you, I have seen some truly epic things on the dance floor. I have seen voguing, I have seen break dancing, I have seen, 80-year-old grandmas getting out there busting a move. So, if it happens at your wedding, you want to have that on video because that is something that you're going to treasure for a lifetime. And then lastly, you can actually share this with your loved ones over and over again. You can sit down and rewatch the speeches and the toasts from your wedding. I can honestly not remember like 90% of what was said during the speeches at my wedding. I have a vague recollection of my dad making a lawyer joke because my husband and I are both lawyers. I sort of remember what my maid of honor said. I remember that our best man had to cut his speech short because he was getting so emotional. I remember those things and we have photos of those things, but I haven't got the slightest idea what they actually said because we don't have it on video. So that's my personal 2 cents plug to endorse all of those things that Sway from the Uncommon Weddings had to say. So then I also reached out to Philippe from Philippe Studio Pro, and he has 4 tips for you to consider throughout hiring and working with your videographer. First, it's pretty common for the couple to do an on-camera either interview or read a letter to their future spouse. Either they talk about their about-to-be spouse or they talk to them directly, they read a letter to them. If you're gonna do that, which I recommend because it's really sweet, first of all, you gotta let me know, you gotta let your planner know because we have to put that in the timeline. We have to budget time for that. But write down your thoughts. Philippe says that a lot of people try to wing it and it doesn't go well. Even if you're not gonna read off of a piece of paper, still compose your thoughts ahead of time, write them down and practice them. And it's totally fine to read them off of a piece of paper. Your nerves are gonna be high, running high, there's gonna be a lot going on. You're not gonna wanna worry about memorizing anything, especially if you tried to memorize your vows in addition. So if you're gonna do any sort of direct to camera speaking to your future spouse on your wedding video, go ahead, write it down and read straight from the paper. Don't try to wing it. Tip number 2. Videographers are shooting in the rooms where you're getting ready. So hair and makeup is happening. The guys are putting on tuxes and getting buttoned up and everything like that. Those rooms are often a disaster. Bridesmaids are throwing stuff all over the place. There's empty bags, there's shoes all over. The street clothes you came in are thrown on the couch. You're changing into gowns. There's empty bags, empty hangers, all that stuff. You don't want that in the background of your wedding video. So try to be a little cleaner in your getting ready room. Try to clean up as you go. Try to make sure there's at least a space. Even if the rest of the room looks like a tornado came through, make sure there's at least some portion of that room that is clean and pretty and tidy. Because if your videographer has to spend time getting that garbage out of the way, that's time they're not spending filming you, and that's not that's not what you're paying them for. You're not paying your videographer to clean up that space to make your video look good. You're paying them to videotape you. So just keep your space clean, and so then your videographer doesn't have to worry about it. Tip number 3 from Philippe is, brides, please stay off of your phones. Give your phone to someone else on your wedding day. Give it to your maid of honor, give it to your mom, give it to your sister, whomever is with you in that space, because the videographer wants to get shots of you getting your makeup done, talking to your friends, that sort of thing. They don't want a bunch of shots of you doing this because you're looking down at your phone and you're texting and you're scrolling and you're Instagramming. You don't need to do that on your wedding day. Let somebody else have your phone, stay off of your phone. I personally, as a wedding planner, like to get the maid of honor's contact information for wedding day so that if I have a question that I really need answered by the bride, I can text the maid of honor and ask her to just ask the bride and relay the information back to me. I don't want to be reaching out to the bride, and we don't want the bride on her phone in all those photos and videos. So brides, stay off your phone. Grooms, same goes for you, but you're not getting hair and makeup, so there's a little bit less of your getting ready stuff going on. And then Final tip from Philippe is actually something that I find super valuable for myself as a planner, and that is to connect your videographer and your photographer over email before your wedding, because they're going to be working closely in conjunction with each other. You know, if there's a first look, they're both going to be shooting at that first look. They're both going to be shooting your entire wedding party. They're both going to be shooting your family. They're both going to be shooting your ceremony. They're going to be shooting everything together all night. And if they don't know each other, if they've never worked together before, it makes things a little smoother if they can put their heads together beforehand, have a conversation, and just work out how much time each one of them needs for certain things. Because if the photographer takes the entire amount of time that I've allotted for the first look and the videographer doesn't have any time left over to get their own shots, sometimes they want to mix things up a little bit and they want to position you slightly differently than how the photographer did. If you photographer takes all the time and the videographer doesn't have time, then they're not giving you the quality product that you are paying them for. And so just make sure that your photographer and your videographer get connected beforehand so that they can talk to each other and put their heads together. And then I have a personal addition to this, and that is speaking directly to any photographers who might be watching this, and that is, don't be a dick about sharing time and space with the videographer. I have seen some photographers, not going to mention any names, but I've seen them be kind of jerky and rude to the videographers when the videographers want to have a few minutes to pose the bride and groom or the couple or the wedding party or whatever for their own purposes. Like, you're all there working as a team for the couple. Photographers is not your show. Planners, it's not your show. Like, you're there to make everything run smoothly. So I see everything when I'm at a wedding. I see all the vendor interactions and I see how they work together. And if you are a jerk to me, to the clients or the guests or the other vendors, I see it, I remember it, and I'm not going to recommend you, and I'm not going to say nice things about you if somebody asks. I'm not going to badmouth you, but I am going to tell the truth. If a client comes to me and says, what do you know about so-and-so? I'm going to be like, well, I worked with them once and I felt like they didn't interact well with the other vendors. I'm going to be honest about that. So I want you to know that I am always watching. So I just want to say thank you again to Sway Garcia from The Uncommon Weddings and to Philippe Caluro from Philippe Studio Pro. I've worked with both of them. I love them both. They do really great work and their prices are very reasonable for what you are getting. And so I want to stress again, I regret not hiring a videographer. So I want to encourage you to try to find room in your budget for it, and you will not regret it. There's absolutely a lot of value to be added by a videographer. That is all for now. I will be back in 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks I am going to talk about, I think, how to hire a wedding officiant. I don't remember what's on the schedule, but I think it's how to hire a wedding officiant for your wedding. So stay tuned for that. Bye for now.